Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know mine started out on Monday, kind of on the wrong foot, but the last 2 days have been really good. Starting to see some value come back into the market here, so it's been a really nice, refreshing change. And we'll talk about that here in a few. At first, I want to share something with you. So, you guys that missed the class today, it's going to be posted in the members video section here in a few. But I kind of want to share a brief synopsis with everybody because I want you to start thinking about some things. But first, kind of leading up to it, you can read all of the trading self-help books you want. You can watch all of the YouTube videos you want. You can take all of the classes that you want. And a lot of this stuff is good. There's a lot of good trading books, like the one Andrew wrote from Bear Bull Traders, great book. All of the YouTube videos, a lot of the, everybody has classes. There's nothing wrong with them. But you go into them and you're looking for a magic formula that's going to change the trading results that you have. But there aren't any magic formulas. They're not in any books, no videos, no classes, nothing. There's only your ability to persevere through this learning process. And through it, it is a process. You start small and you continue to grow, through small steps. The people that come in and try to skip all this stuff typically won't make it. So you do need to read. You do need to watch videos. You do need to take classes. But don't go looking for a magic formula to change the results you're getting from your trading. It's not that. So what we talked about was, identifying your weaknesses and your strengths, but trying to plan your trading around your weaknesses and really identifying the ones that you can trade around. And there's some weaknesses that you have to turn into your strengths, or else you won't be successful. For instance, if your weakness is trading highly volatile momentum stocks, you can trade around that. You could find strategies that don't require you to trade like that. And that's me. That was me in the beginning. I could not trade those. So I developed my process around that. So I planned my trading around that weakness. But another one I had was patience. And that is a weakness that I had to turn into a strength. So that's one of my better traits as a trader is my patience when it comes to allowing the trades to work. And so the process that we talked about was that this is the process that an average trader goes through. You start out, the one thing you want to do is avoid those big losses, the ones that just wipe your account out. And a lot of people start out and in 1 week, if they're starting in a small account, or even, and I've known traders that's been in a fully funded account that's lost it all in a week. You have to start understanding how to manage your risk. You have to learn how to lose more, and you have to learn more. And that's kind of the first phase that you go through. And most traders make it out of that. Then you move over to, you start making smaller losses to break even. You're making some break even days. You're having some days with small losses. You're not having these big blowout losses consistently. You may have one here and there that creeps up. It happens to everybody. But this is kind of where you're at. You're starting to identify your weaknesses. You understand where you're weak, kind of what you need to stay away from. You start eliminating mistakes. And most of all, you start filtering out all of the 80% of the garbage that you get in this stage. Because you're going to pick up a lot of garbage that you don't need. You're going to realize in through here that only about 20% of what you picked up here you need. Because now when you're in this phase, you're starting to understand exactly what you need in order to be successful. So then you move to this next step where you're starting to get small wins more consistently to break even. You're starting to see some consistency in your trading. It's not going to be exactly where you want it, but what you're starting to do is turning those weaknesses that you identify here into strengths. What's holding you back? What's keeping you from making small wins consistently versus small losses? And you're figuring that out. And then you're starting to plan around them. Just everything that we talked about today is for you guys that are in this rut. And the reason why I've got this identified like this is the rut that most traders get stuck in for their entire trading career. I call it stuck in a rut. That's an expression we use down south. But if you ever been four-wheeling, you know what I'm talking about. But you're just stuck. You can't go anywhere. Your tires don't have any traction. Usually you're stuck in the mud and you have to winch yourself out. That's kind of what you're in right now if you're in this area where most of the traders are. Most of the traders in my community that I mentor with are right here. And we're trying to get you to this section. So we're trying to turn your weaknesses into your strengths, trying to get your plans, your process to fit your strengths, and identifying those weaknesses that we have to flip. And this is where you want to be, where your execution is consistent day in and day out. You're able to make small adjustments based on market conditions, like know when to reduce your share size, know how to identify a day where the value is low, and if you're going to trade, you want to not overexpose yourself, with the share size. You're able to make adjustments with your stops and your profit targets based on market conditions. You're making these small adjustments, not wholesale adjustments because you have a losing streak. I just went through 3-4 day losing streak, and I didn't do it on purpose, but it's one of the reasons why I do this live, so you guys can see. You just stick to what you do. You just stay consistent. You make small adjustments if you have to. Like I shortened up my profit targets so to ensure I lock in some profit, because I was getting trades that was hitting, when I went back and looked at it, $300 profit, but I ended up taking the max loss because it didn't hit my first target, and I could have short shifted it and picked up some money. Making those little adjustments, constantly learning what's happening in the market, what's changing. We do that market analysis every Sunday morning, where we look at what's happening in the market, what's coming, what potential changes that might affect what's going to happen. We're consistently learning, and we rinse and repeat every day. Regardless of what happens, we come in and rinse and repeat. Eventually, things are going to come together. So I wanted to share that with you. Think about it. Because if you're stuck in there like most people, These are the things that you need to start working on. And these are the things that I work with my traders that I mentor. It's why I don't charge extra for the mentoring time, because I feel it needs to be part of any educational process. So, very important. I felt this was a very important message to send. All right, so looking at the SPY, we've been in this channel for damn near a month. We poked out of it a couple of times last week. Well, once last week, once on Monday. But you see, even though we had this sell day yesterday, we had another little sell day today, could not make it over the 5-day, but we're holding the 20-day. I mean, this is, the market is trapped, or as I say, stuck in a rut. It's not going anywhere. It's just kind of spinning its wheels. It's killing swing trading this month. It's killing it. So instead of sitting here pushing the envelope, taking too many losses, I'm waiting for it to get out of here. And one of the first lessons in the swing trading class is talking about identifying the market cycles. And when you have a market that's just trading sideways, you don't engage. It's, because we're trading technical setups to the long side. And this isn't said do not engage. I mean, this is pathetic price action. The bulls are kicking the bears' ass right now. Are the bears going to catch up tomorrow? We'll see. There's a lot of good setups that could go short tomorrow if these stocks, do what they need to do. There's a lot of stocks sitting at the bottom of their range, and we just don't know. So we'll be looking for that tomorrow. I don't want to be sell biased tomorrow. If you're looking at everything, we're gonna be sell biased tomorrow. But when I wake up at 6, the market usually tells me something different than what it told me when I went to bed at night. So gonna have to wait and see on that one. So here's Monday. Monday's trades. MRNA, first one out of the block. Opening range breakout. A little bit late, missed it. Not by much, but pushed up a bit. Didn't quite get to anywhere near my target. Anywhere near for me to be able to even short shift this. Turned around and came back. Next trade was DraftKings. Watch DraftKings sell off, go red. This is before 10 o'clock, so I typically don't wait for confirmation until after 10. I think the first 30 minutes, there's enough volatility to drive stocks. Got it. No go. Stop out. Twice in a row. Then we're going to go to pins. This was the last trade. Shorted it under the little channel it put in here, but technically it wasn't a channel because we never took out the high of this candle. But, still it tried to bounce here. This was a definite area of support. Once we took it out, I got in it and didn't work. We sold off a little bit, then got bought right back up and stopped me out. And account was locked. Now, once it gets $600 down, the account automatically locks. I can't trade it anymore. Yeah, I can call and open it, but I'm not going to do that. Because I'm not looking at my P&L any this week. I didn't last week. I'm not looking at it this week. I'm just focusing on trading every day. I don't want to keep up with it right now. But I don't know how much I was down this day. but I know it was over 6 because my trading privileges were revoked at that time. I could have called, got it lifted, and tried to get this back. And not being in sync today, I could have turned $700 loss to $1,1700 really easy. And it wasn't that the market was bad. I mean, look, if I had taken this on the opening range breakdown, this trade would have worked. This actually worked. It's just that I wouldn't have shorted into this, but it actually worked as an opening range breakdown. I didn't take it. Other stocks that were on my watch list worked. It just so happens that the ones I took did not. And it wasn't the market's fault. Wasn't the strategy's fault. It was the person who picked the stock to trade. And that's the market participant, which is me. So couldn't blame anything on that but me. Okay, Tuesday came around, tale of 2 days. All right, we got BNTX. Really, really nice. I was frustrated at first because, okay, again, this was on my watch list. Awesome 5-minute opening range breakdown. Did not catch it. I completely missed it. I was looking at something else. Didn't set up. This was beautiful. All right, so I waited for it, and this was a daily intraday level here from the previous day. It might have been the low of the previous day. So I used it as my guide. So once we got down here and we started to sell again, I got it. Nice move all the way down. I mean, home run trade on this. Absolutely beautiful. And next trade I tried to take was Microsoft. This basically, you could say this was break even. This I got in, it started to sell, and then it turned around and started ripping back up, and I took it off. Here, this was an accident. I accidentally bought it trying to cover my Tesla trade. I accidentally bought it and then turned around and sold it real quick. So might have been $30 at the most when you add these two together. So basically a break even mess on this. And then Tesla was a pretty decent trade. First trade I got here was a stop. I got in, it started to sell, came within a couple cents of where I was going to take profit, and it bounced, stopped me out. Once it came back, I got it, hit my target this time, but a little piece of the trade was still left. So instead of me taking it off for just a little loss because it popped back really quick before I could get my stop in, I sat here and waited to see for it to come back, knowing that it was going to come back. Nothing ever has to come back, and this sure as hell never came back. So I had to take the little piece off up here, which practically wiped out the profit I made. But on this trade, but I mean, wasn't the best of trades. It wasn't the best execution. Wasn't the best of trades. But we were trying with Tesla. 50 shares. You know, the other day we traded 50 shares and made $500. So, you know, was kind of looking for that move again, but just didn't get it. And then aftermarket, nice hit on IRBT. This was the earnings trade. Now, I'm not trading earnings ahead like I used to. The edge is not there. The market conditions changed. I don't have the edge anymore. So now I'm waiting for it to announce, waiting for the initial move, and then trading it after the fact. So here, it popped up, and then this candle opened. It tried to make another high. It couldn't. It started selling off. It rejected. So once we got back under this red to green, I started shorting it. And I mean, they break this. This is what frustrates me. I used to have it to where it would just sell in 150 share lots, but I don't know what I did. Once I upgraded to the new platform, it does this now all the time. It's frustrating, but it I got short here, first cover, second cover, third cover. This was an accidental cover. I was trying to type in the price, but I forgot to put ARCA, and so when I went back and changed it to ARCA, it takes the price out, and if I don't put the price in, it just sends an order in for whatever the ask is at the time, and then that's what happened. And it happened to me a couple times today too. I just have to remember to change the price again. But then here I was trying to cover and accidentally bought. Get this. I was just really excited, and I accidentally bought. And when it bounced, I just covered it up here. It wasn't a loss because all it did was kind of averaged it down a little bit, so it wasn't even near break even. I just killed it. So that was a really, we started Tuesday really good. We ended Tuesday really good. So Peloton today, I didn't really have this on my watch list today. This was on my watch list yesterday, but some news came out, and this is the candle when the news hit. If it's too far gone, like if I had caught it close to the 200, I would have shorted against 200, meaning if it hung back over this, I would get out. But once it came down and put in this candle, and it showed no signs of bouncing, no strength. And as it started to come back, once it took out the low, I shorted it. And I didn't know how far this thing was going to go. So I just took some short profits here, which is good. I mean, you could see I shorted it, you could say 92.31. 91.50 was the first target, then 90.50, and then 92. And let's see, and I bought it thinking that we were bouncing because 88 was the daily level. I thought we were bouncing off of that. I bought it looking for a move up to VWAP. It started getting hit before VWAP, so I took some off, and then it came back and took out at net at break even. I could have shorted it here, looking for the move down, but I just wait until it breaks the channel, and in this case, until it took out this level, this 88 level. Once it did, just rolled the pony down. Took it off here, got back in it. It was just taking money. And here, I covered. And so now I'm thinking, okay, we got the bounce now. We're going to rip back up. And I took it long, and it ended up coming back and stopping me out. So that was it for today. Once it started this, I felt, okay, now we're going to get into the channel. That's exactly what happened. It did eventually break the bottom of this and get down to, I think, 80s, the $80 range, but it wasn't the trade I wanted anymore. So just ended the day on a high note, and was a smart thing to do. Lift, this was an opening range trade that I jumped the gun on. Once it broke the pre-market low and it took out red to green, I thought we were going to flush straight down to this 53.20s. I thought we were going to flush straight down. I think this was a lower linear regression channel, but it didn't. It sold off a little bit, then it turned around and bounced. I had to stop out. I couldn't sit here and let it go against me, not knowing if it was going to come back. You could always get back in, and that's exactly what I did. So I got in, and I think I can't remember what happened here, but I did accidentally took some off. Okay, this was me switching it to ARCA and not changing the price. So it automatically took some off when I put the order in. But I got it. I took it off here, closed out this trade. It bounced a little bit. When it came back through, I got in again. Took some profit here, and it bounced, took me out at break even, and we were done with that. So the only two trades I took was on Lyft and Peloton, both super good trades. I'm happy. We're just going to keep going. But you guys in the community, you saw the struggle last week. You saw it. A pretty decent red week. And what did we do? Rinse and repeat. I made a small adjustment to taking profit a little bit early to ensure that we start locking in profits. Just made sure my execution stayed consistent, and I stayed on top of what's going on in the market. So that's all it took. And that's the point that I wanted to make to you guys. But that's gonna wrap it up for me tonight. I'll be back this weekend wrapping up the week and closing it out, getting ready for a new week. So I'll see you guys on either Saturday or Sunday.